Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth and whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please have a seat. Thank you.
Please state your name for the record.
Cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to work. Everybody kind of moves the chair around the microphone towards your voice, and please pull the chair up closer to the microphone. And then it'll help us. Are you comfortable? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Please state your name for the record.
Bishop Park.
And Miss Parr, where do you currently, are you currently living here in the Beaumont area?
Yes.
And were you living in the Beaumont area on November 9th, 2024?
Yes.
And where were you living at on that day?
2480, Beaumont, Texas, 77705.
And that's here in Jefferson County, Texas?
Yes.
Who did you you lived there at Rainier Street? Did you live in a house or an apartment? Okay. Did you rent that house or you own it or?
It was fine. He passed away and left it to his people.
Okay. So you were living in your grandfather's house. Who else lived in the house with you? Okay. And how old were they back then?
13, 8, 83.
Okay. 13, 8, and 3 at that time. Do you know an individual by the name of Charles Johnson Jr.?
Yes.
And do you see that individual in the courtroom here today?
Yes.
And could you please point and describe an article of clothing that he's wearing?
Black.
And Your Honor, to ask the record reflect the witness identified the defendant.
Yes, it will.
And how do you know Mr. Johnson?
We dated.
When did y'all date?
2023.
In 2023. About how long did y'all date?
February to August.
From February to August. So in August of 23, y'all pretty much quit seeing each other.
Mhm.
So all the way up until November the 9th, 2024, y'all really had y'all communicated or?
Yes.
But had y'all been dating that time? And on November 9th, 2024, were you at that time, were you dating Mr. Johnson?
No.
And were you dating another individual?
Yes.
And who was that?
Okay.
So you were dating another man. And how long had you been dating that individual before this date? Before November 9th?
On him.
Okay. So it's kind of on and off, and then you had dated Mr. Johnson in 2023 from February to August. Then you were dating Trayvon again after that.
Yes.
Okay. So as far as what happened on November the 9th, what happened leading up to that? What
Did you 2024?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. So on November 9th, 2024, let's kind of take the jury through it. What did you, how did that day start off?
I woke up at Trayvon's house and went home. When I went to my house, my kids weren't there. Nobody was opening the door. I couldn't get in. My door is a double deadbolt, so you need a key from the inside and the outside. My children had the key, but they weren't opening the door because they weren't home. So I went to my garage. We tried to get in my house that way. When I was getting in the garage that way, by the time I had made it in, the garage going back down, Mr. Charles had pulled in my driveway and basically came to my garage. And then I was trying to back up and make it into the house. And by the time I made it into my back door of my house, he was coming in. He began assaulting me. He pulled my hair. He drove me from my kitchen into my bedroom on the other side of the house.
Okay, and I'm kind of stop you there and let's slowly go. So you're at Trayvon's house the night before this?
I went there like 3 o'clock.
Okay, so you leave your kids, were they sleeping at the house?
My oldest was broke, but my youngest were asleep. I let her know that I was leaving and locked the door. She locked the door behind me and we got in front of.
And did you leave them, did you leave her daughter with the key or anything? Did you have your cell phone with you when you left?
Yes.
Okay, and so you leave, you go to Trayvon's house, then you're returning. About what time were you returning? Okay, so you're coming back around 9 o'clock on November the 9th, 2024, and that's coming back to 2480 Rainier Street?
Yes.
So we're coming back to the house. So when you get up to the door, what happens then?
Knocking up, ringing the doorbell. I have a mail slot on my house. I'm opening it, screaming my kids' names, but there's no movement, quiet, so I can tell it's not like eating.
Did you find that odd that none of your kids answered the door or responded to you? Okay. So you don't know where your kids are at that point, or you don't know if something's happened to them, correct? Okay. And so what do you try and do at that point? You go to the garage? Was your garage, did you have a garage door opener or did you?
But it's broken, so you have to manually lift it up and down, and the metal is broken, so you have to like really fight to get it up and down.
Okay. And so were you attempting to lift it up there with your hands and get it to?
Get into the garage. I let the garage go so it could fall back down, and that's when the truck pulled up and lifted it back up.
Okay, so the truck, and you're saying Mr. Johnson pulls up in his truck?
It lifts it back up.
So he pulls into your carport, you've just lifted the garage up a little to get in, and then what does he do at that point? Do you know if he?
I let it go, because again, it's broken, so it just don't fall. When I let it go to drop it, that's when he picks it up, and he opens it all the way back up.
Okay, so you actually let the garage door fall down?
Yes.
And then Mr. Johnson came and lifted it up real quick? And what happened after that? After he lifted?
Make it into my house through my back door. My garage is like junk all over the place, so I'm trying not to fall. By the time I make it to my back door, he basically leave there.
Is he saying anything to you at that time?
He's talking, but I can't 100% remember it right now what he was saying.
Did you invite him into your house?
I hadn't communicated with him. I hadn't spoke with him or anything to tell him to come there, be there, or anything of this sort.
Did you find it odd that he had just showed up out of
Yes.
nowhere?
Well, no, because he just showed up at my house before, uninvited and unannounced.
Okay, so he showed up kind of uninvited before that.
Yes, I had to get a trespassing ticket against him at 24 every year because he just would come to my house whenever he wanted.
Okay, so you actually had him trespass there from that resident. Yeah. So you get into the house and he's kind of, is he walking behind you or what's?
Backing up, so he's walking towards me. It's kind of that type of situation, but as soon as I make it in the house, he's right there. So.
Okay. And he just walks in the house without you asking him to come in or inviting him. What happens when you get in the house?
I'm asking him where my kids are at this point because I'm figuring out something is going on. But he just started hitting me and choking me. And he dragged me by my hair to the back or to my room across the other side of the house. Hit my head against the wall, the dressers. I went in and out of consciousness. I woke up with no clothes on. I was just confused.
And so if at that point y'all hadn't been dating in a long time, is that correct? So if Mr. Johnson told the detective, well, he thought y'all were dating, would that be incorrect?
Very much so.
Okay. So he comes in, he starts hitting you, and where's he hitting you at?
On my face. He's choking me here. Really just my face. Because he was like slamming my body into the stuff. Like the dresser, the walls, the bed, stuff like that.
Did you end up hitting your head on the dresser there?
I hit my head on the dresser, the wall, the bed.
Okay. How long was he doing this for?
Maybe 3 hours.
Okay. And is he kind of going back and forth from hitting you or choking you?
Like aggressive, he's calling me out my name, he's hitting me, then running, he's crying, he's apologetic, he's sorry for what he did. And then the next minute he's back into a full rage, back doing the same exact thing. Like it was just on and off cycle, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I had to go to the restroom. He stood at the restroom while I used the restroom. I asked for water. He walked me to the kitchen and made me drink the water in front of him.
Were you scared at that point?
Yes.
Were you in fear for your life?
Yes.
And did you have your cell phone with you right then?
Yes, I was trying to call somebody to come and help me, like my grandfather or 911, but he took it.
So you were trying to call 911 or your grandfather and,
He took my phone, took my keys, he took all my stuff.
okay. He took that from you and how was he choking you? Can you describe that to me?
It was like he would grab me like this and just squeeze it. Not like a regular choke like you do somebody. He was grabbing this and just squeezing it down. So like you couldn't to catch a breath or anything. It was just instantly you cannot breathe, you cannot do anything.
Is that kind of almost like I guess the pressure point we have right there?
Whatever this is in the throat is what he was grabbing on and squeezing. I'm not exactly sure what that is.
Did you feel him, you feel it scratch your neck or did you feel?
I felt like my neck was closing, like I couldn't breathe. Even when he was done and I was in the hospital, I still was having problems breathing.
When he was doing this, where was he at? Was he on top of you or where were you at?
I was on the ground majority of the time. Sometimes I was on the side of the bed. On the bed, he was more so on the side of me. On the ground, he was on top of me.
And were you eventually able to get out of the house?
Yes, when he was finished, he basically was calm. He was like, okay, let's go get your kids. We can go get your kids now. Like he was just through with the whole situation.
Okay. Now, did you ever have to, did you ask for water like the last time?
Yes,
You recall, saying you ran out then?
yes.
Okay. And where'd you run to?
I ran to the chicken place across the street from my house and I used somebody's phone in there to call 911.
Is that Hart's Chicken?
Yeah.
Here in Beaumont? Okay. So you ran over there and one of the people buying some chicken there, one of the individuals.
For me to talk to the police.
Okay. And you called 911, is that correct?
Yes.
The police showed up. Did you tell them what happened?
Yes, I told him everything that happened. I told him that he had my children. I told him that he had all my belongings.
What was your main concern there when the police showed up? Okay, the kids. And you still had no idea where they were necessarily at, right?
You know, well, I knew once he said, let's go get your kids, it kind of just let me know that he had.
But you didn't know if they're
I didn't know.
okay or what's
I just knew he had them.
okay. And so when you tell the police, what do y'all do at that point?
The police, I guess they radio me, they write down his information, they ask his address and all of that, and then they take me back to my house to basically make sure nobody's in my home.
When y'all get back to the home, what do you see when you're getting back in?
Nobody's there. They walk the house, and then while we're talking, my kids come walking down the street because they said he let them out down the street.
So your kids come walking up and
They have my phone, they have my keys, all my stuff that he just left.
right. So they came back with those items that he had just taken. Do you know how your kids were taken?
They said he told them I said for him to come get them.
And had they stayed with him ever before when y'all were actually dating?
Yeah.
Okay. So wasn't something that would be necessarily so out of the ordinary if he had, but grown up tells them that they had stayed there before a long time. Yeah. So you get back, your kids are there. Were all of your clothes on when this was going on?
When I woke up, one of the times I conscious, I had no clothes. I had to put the clothes back on.
Did you know if Mr. Johnson had sexually assaulted you or anything like that? Okay. Did you tell the police that you didn't know if you had been or hadn't been? And did they have an ID tech come over there and take some photographs of you there at the house? I'm showing you and marked as state's exhibits 2 through 9. What are shown in those these photos?
The pictures the police took when they came after I called them of my injuries.
And does these photos fairly and accurately depict how you looked on that day and the injuries that are there in those photos?
Yes.
Guard officer states exhibits 2 through 9. No objection from the defense, so.
First at this time. No objection?
No objection.
All right. State's exhibits 2 through 9 are admitted. May publish.
Joe, you mark the state's exhibit 2. What is that they're showing? The scratch, is that scratching on your face right there?
It's a scratch by my nose and under my eye, it's a bruise coming in.
And that right here. Also, is there,
Bruising coming in,
and then,
scratches and bruising,
and let's see over here, is that your ear? It's got a
scratch.
scratches. Show you what's that admitted to state's exhibit 3. And what is that showing right there? Another scratch on your neck?
It's a scratch. Mhm.
These were taken by the ID tech just shortly after the police have showed up.
They came maybe like 20 minutes after the police came.
Show you state's exhibit 4. Yeah, there's this showing that's showing that
Scratch.
bruising and scratching on your neck.
Mhm.
Another one right there. And did you have any of this on your neck, any of these injuries before November 9th, 2024? State's exhibit number 5. Again, is that showing more bruising and scratching to your neck area,
Mhm.
on the left side of your neck?
Is that, he asked the question, that's the left side of your neck and your answer?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead.
And three states exhibit 6, it's been admitted. Was this more scratching and
That's scratching and bruising coming in.
that's to your
My back.
right shoulder there, back of it. Here we're gonna admit states exhibit number 7. Was that more scratching and bruising there to your back?
Yeah.
All those areas. Another scratch kind of coming right there.
Yes.
And states exhibit number 8. Showing the scratches right there
Mhm.
coming down.
Yes.
States exhibit 9. The admitted. Again, this showing some more scratching and bruising
That's
right here.
disgusting.
So the police show up. And you don't know if you've been sexually assaulted or not. Do they take you to have a SANE exam there?
Yes. Like my grandfather put me to have this thing now,
Okay.
because I had my children with me.
Okay. So your grandpa took you over there. Was that to St. Elizabeth Hospital
Yeah.
here in Beaumont?
Yeah.
When you got there, do you recall, how did you feel when you got there?
I was in a lot of pain. I was really confused, but more so pain because my neck and my head it was bad.
Were you nauseous?
Yes, I was throwing up everywhere.
Okay. And so were you able to, did you meet with the Miss Nia Knighton there? Was well, now the forensic nurse examiner there?
Yeah.
Okay. Did she order some, did they actually have some CAT scans that were ordered?
We ordered multiple tests actually because she wanted to make sure I didn't have a concussion of any sort because the way I was growing up and a lot of shaking. She redid the pictures as well because she said that there was more stuff than I was telling her that I could remember.
And has, at any point during this on November 9th, did you invite Mr. Johnson over there to your home?
Ask the question again.
At any time on November the 9th or around then, did you invite Mr. Johnson over to your home?
No.
Okay. Did you ever, at that time, did you at any point give him permission to come in your house?
No.
Has Mr. Johnson tried to contact you at all recently?
Yeah.
And when was that?
The last time was today.
And how did he try to contact
He contacted me on Snapchat.
you? And what was on there?
He sent me a picture of his debit card and then he told me to take $500 off his card for my birthday and then take another $500 next
And when is your birthday?
December the 12th.
So trying to give you an extra early birthday present there. Did you accept that?
No, I think it was fun.
Has he contacted you at other times recently?
Yeah.
And what were those
He
contacts
put
regarding?
pictures and videos of things he was doing and food he was eating and cooking and stuff like that, but I didn't respond to those as well.
And you haven't had any kind of relationship with Mr. Johnson since this, have you?
Yeah.
Okay. And y'all aren't in any kind of relationship? And y'all weren't at the time that this incident occurred? Best wish.
Go ahead.
You may go ahead.
Yes,
Noon?
go ahead.
Okay.
We can go into a little lunch hour.
All right. Now, the night before this incident happened, you said you're at Trayvon's house, correct? Okay. So when your kids went to bed that night, you were there. Did you tell your 13-year-old you were going to be leaving in the middle of the night? Okay, so she was up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And then your other kids were 8 and 3. So you left them there alone and locked the door.
My oldest daughter locked the door. I have a double deadbolt, so it's the same key.
Okay.
There's only one key.
So when Mr. Johnson showed up, was he coming there to talk to you?
I wasn't there.
Okay. Well, you.
I wasn't there. He showed up the first time.
I'm talking about when you were when he came to into the house.
I'm sure when he showed up. He
Okay.
hadn't communicated, so I'm not sure what to do.
Well, whenever he came into the garage, was he talking to you or is he quiet? What was going on?
I was asking him, do you know what kids were? Because my kids weren't here either.
Okay. And you just assumed it was him?
Yes.
Okay. Why?
Why did I assume it was him? Because he doesn't live by my house anywhere. And then my kids were at home with nowhere to go or a vehicle to leave. So it makes no sense for my children to be anywhere besides home where I left them or to go with another. And then again that morning, he was there in his car. With no business of being there.
Okay. Had Mr. Johnson been at your house before that date? Well, the answer is, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
we
true.
were there.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm getting at. Y'all had dated, okay? Had he ever stayed the night at your house?
Maybe in February, one time when we did today.
Okay. Had you ever been to his house?
Yeah,
Okay. Had you ever stayed the night at his house?
yeah,
Okay. Had you ever had to stay at his house when you've had your power shut off or something like that?
yeah,
Okay. Have your kids stayed at his house before?
yeah.
Okay. Including, how many times had your power been shut off and you had to stay with him?
My power has never been turned off at 24 hours a year, so maybe something else, but my power.
Okay. Some other utility. Okay. Well, I'm getting at, why were the kids at his house? Was it because they couldn't live at your house at the time because of utilities or why?
On what date are you?
Oh, I don't know. You tell me what date they stayed there.
My kids only stayed there if I stayed there. If we went over there because we were invited or something going on in my own, then I'd be at their house.
Had you stayed at his house anytime since the summer of 23?
Yes,
And so your kids did know him.
yes,
Okay. So if he did show up that morning and you weren't there and he took them to his house, they would have went with him.
correct.
Okay. And they had stayed at his house before.
Correct.
All right. Okay. And you have a criminal charge pending right now, don't you? Okay. For criminal mischief. For damaging windows in an apartment.
Yeah.
Whose apartment was that?
I don't know the person's apartment that it actually was, but the person that brought me there that I spent the night with, his name was Darrell Lewis.
Okay. Darrell Lewis. So this wasn't Trayvon.
No,
Okay.
and this is from September of 2024.
And I don't know the answer to this question, but did Mr. Johnson ever have a key to your house?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. And even the day that this happened, even if you had a key, you couldn't get into the house because it was dead bolted from inside, correct? Okay. So somebody would have had to open the door from the inside. Okay. Even if you came home, you would have, like you said, you were knocking on the door trying to get in, correct? Okay. Okay.
So you hadn't dated Mr. Johnson since August 2023. And he had no reason to come to your house on November 9th, 2024. And he was not invited to your home on November 9th, 2000. And as far as the criminal mischief, that had nothing to do with Mr. Johnson. And you didn't ask Mr. Johnson to assault you and choke you, did you?
No.
That's the way.
Nothing more. Anything else on this?
No, Your Honor.
John?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. Can all of you return back at 1:15? 1:15. Please remember the instructions the court has given to you, and we'll see you all then. Thank you. Everyone else remain seated while the jury exits first. Thank you. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of the indictment and the arraignment here? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
In summary, Mr. Johnson, as you intimately know, this indictment, which was handed up on March 19th of this year, alleges that on or about November 9th, 2024 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the second-degree felony of burglary of a habitation by intentionally and knowingly entering a habitation without the effective consent of the owner with the intent to commit assault. Do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
If convicted, this is a second-degree felony, which means you face a term of not more than 20 years or less than 2 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand the punishment range that is applicable here?
Yes, sir.
An agreement has been reached where you would be pleading guilty, and whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 10 years in prison. So we've got several options. Number one, you could be found guilty, sentenced to no less than 2 nor more than 10 years confinement in prison.
Yes, sir.
You could be placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation for up to 10 years. And a third option is you could be sentenced to no less than 2 nor more than 10 years confinement in prison. And then that could be suspended and you would be placed on regular probation for up to 10 years. Those are your 3 options. And what is going to happen is the court is going to order a pre-sentence report. We will return back after the probation office. We need to tell them
Yes, sir.
to be alerted. The probation office will go do a pre-sentence report. We will return back on January 5th, 2026. All parties will add anything else you want to include, and the court will make its decision within those parameters. Do you understand the plan? And is that your agreement?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this indictment charging you with the second-degree felony of burglary of a habitation, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily? And because you are guilty,
Yes, sir.
show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1? Did you sign that document?
Yes, sir.
Understand it, discuss it with your attorney? Or the contents all true and correct here?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence.
No objection.
Without objection, it's submitted. Among other things, this states that you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It's freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You are guilty of the crime charged and any lesser included offenses. You are giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. Totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true. It states, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record for all purposes. All right, a pre-sentence report will be ordered, and we will return back on January 5th. And please cooperate with the probation office so that they can get the information they need from you. And I revoked his bond and put him in custody, as you know.
Your Honor, I would.
What do you
like-
want, what are we gonna do now?
If the court would allow to reinstate the bond and maybe even add a GPS monitor if you wanted to, so that way he could get number one, assist me on getting everything ready for the hearing. Number two, allow him to take care of all his home issues, because this individual is not in jail like a lot of our clients. He was, out on bond. Let him take care of all this stuff in case he is sent to prison. That's not a possibility. So let's prepare for that. Like I said, no contact with the victim. I think he understands now not to have any contact. That's not just physical contact. That's also any kind of electronic, anything like that. But like I said, if the court wants to give him an ankle monitor so we can monitor, I say we, not me directly, but whoever is in charge of that can monitor, make sure he's not around where he's not supposed to be.
What says the state?
Your Honor, I think that I'd ask that he remain in jail until the time of the sentencing hearing. Obviously, the intended communications to kind of thwart our efforts to prosecute this case. So we're asking that he remain in jail until we have that the sentencing hearing.
Judge, I joined that specifically because I compare this to a situation where an individual is found guilty to an offense and is pending a punishment decision. Your Honor traditionally revokes their bond, we place them in custody. Yes, they can come back and argue for whatever at that stage, but the reality is that all of our evidence was heard already by the defendant before he made this decision. The only thing we have remaining was a 911 call, and so I would ask you to leave it as is. Let's not go searching for this man. Let's make a decision whenever it's reset.
Well, the problem is that I'm, whatever I do has to be considered fair for all concerned.
Yes, sir.
And what Mr. Johnson did was clearly, according to the testimony, violate the standard bond condition that everybody is held accountable, all defendants are held accountable for. And not only is this contemptual, where you could be placed in custody for up to 6 months for contempt, but it's also possibly something that the DA's office could bring before a grand jury for attempting to influence a witness, which is a serious offense. The problem I have is that what's good for one is good for all. And I'm reluctant for somebody to say, well, Charles Johnson, he got caught red-handed and you let him out. I want Charles Johnson's rule, please. What's fair is fair. What's fair for one is fair for all. And there is nothing more that really concerns this court more in a trial or in any pending case, but for this surreptitious behind the back door attempts to communicate with people, the victims. That's why we have this strong order. We're not talking about other witnesses. We're talking about don't communicate. It's clear you cannot communicate directly or indirectly with the complainant victim of a pending offense, nor should you go near a residence, school, job site, or other location frequented by the complainant victim. There's a good reason for that. And the court is going to hold him accountable for it. But the pre-sentence report isn't going to take long. We're going to get back here soon enough, and but he's going to be in custody, and we'll bring him back. And how much time are we talking about, generally, for this? 30 days?
It's a little-
Except for January 5th.
So it's like
Yeah, January
month and a half,
5th.
like 6 weeks.
Yeah. Can we do it anytime? Is there a way we can do it before that?
The only other time we have before that is December the 19th, which is our last docket. Before the holidays, I can talk to probation to see if that's something.
Try to do it then.
That's fine with me. I'll be here anyway.
Okay.
We hear every day.
But you're gonna be able to, you've gotta purge the sin on, communicating with her when you were ordered. And that's, I don't want to open this door and I want to set an example. And I've done that before, is when we catch you, when we catch somebody doing it, they always go to jail. They always go to jail. I mean, how else? It's clear. And if I didn't, then it wouldn't be considered serious, but it is. Because like I say, between contempt and attempting to commit a crime by influencing a witness, I mean, those are two fires that have been fought and started. And what's good for one is good for everybody. I don't want you to be able to scamper on out of here and them say what's fair for Charles Johnson is fair for me too. And no, I don't want victims. They got enough problems. They're dealing with enough problems. I don't want them being worried about having to be harassed. And when it's found out that people aren't held accountable, I'm setting a standard. People go to jail for this. They go to jail because it's just the way it should be. This is a clear rule. It's a serious infraction. There's not a doubt about this. So you're going to stay in custody. We're going to get you back on December 19th. Everybody will be heard, and then the decision of this court will be made at that time.
Let's see, get better and stuff. So
Anything else, John, to add?
No, sir.
What about the state? All right. That is all. We're in recess.